Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Aries EDC and another TNFNU. This is a series where I talk about things that come up in my world and things I would like to share with you, and any projects that I have going on that I like to show off. And just kind of an update of what's going on in the workshop and any knives that I've been working on. So today I want to talk to you guys about something that hopefully doesn't ruffle too many feathers, but I want to talk to you about institutions where it's okay to carry a knife and places it's not okay to carry a knife. Because there are some things that, and places that I feel like you shouldn't be carrying a blade with you, or firearm, or anything else, okay? So the reason I'm talking about this, and it's come up in my world, as I've shared with you guys many times, I was transitioning into a new job, and unfortunately that new job, I work in places where carrying a blade is not necessarily looked upon as a positive thing. It's kind of negatively looked on. So what do you think? Where are places that are acceptable for you to carry a knife? And I know I'm not talking about laws and all of those things. I mean, everybody has the right to carry in your own state, following your state's rules. But above all of those things, there are institutions where you're not allowed to carry a blade, or there's some kind of sign posted that says you shouldn't be carrying. So what are some of those places? So like city halls, state buildings, some of them have metal detectors and security that are stopping you from bringing in anything like that. And I agree. I don't think those are the places that you should be carrying those things. Courthouses, those types of things, for obvious reasons, although some people argue it's their right and you're taking away their right. But I personally agree those places aren't necessarily something that you want to be carrying a blade with you. There's live events, concerts, sporting events, those types of places where there are metal detectors and those types of things. God knows some of you guys get a little bit too crazy with your sport teams and it can get a little out of hand. So I'd rather not have somebody standing next to me with a blade. So that I can agree with. Educational facilities like schools, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools. There are signs posted normally, at least here where I live, and it's an obscure sign, so it's not like it's like no knives, but it's something, you know. I have mixed feelings about that, but I know like maintenance people and custodians probably should have one just because they might need one on a daily basis. But I know and you can argue teachers and educational staff needing something, but as a visitor to the school, think about that. Should you be carrying a blade with you? That one's kind of debatable, but I understand why they have those rules. What else? What else do you guys think? I'd love to hear it in the comments of your thoughts on where it's okay. So I personally work in and out of elementary schools on a daily basis. And they probably don't want you carrying a knife. It's posted, no firearms or weapons should be in the building. And unfortunately, even though I can argue it and disagree, I do not believe that a knife is a weapon. It is a tool. But a lot of people see them as weapons. And that's, again, I've talked about it many times, the negative stigma that they have. And I don't know. I don't know what we can do to change that thought. But even in some of the comments that I get in some of my videos, where I'll post a knife and like the Bud, I posted a picture of this blade. I'm sorry, it's filthy. I haven't cleaned it. So I posted this, and somebody posted that it was unsafe because when you're fighting, you need to have an 1.5 inches or 1/2 inch of swell here in the finger, and your finger can come up onto the blade when you're fighting. Who's fighting? I don't. What world do you live in where you need to think about fighting with your knife first and foremost? That's a tool. That's a tool for cutting, and that's all that it's meant for. That's all that I make them for. So if your first thought is when you see a knife, oh, I don't know if that's going to be safe when I'm fighting with it. Well, I question you. I question what you're doing on a daily basis, because that's not something I think about on a daily basis, is what I'm going to be doing with this knife when I get into a fighting situation, which I try to avoid anyway. I don't know about you guys, but I try to avoid those situations. But if it does come down to it, yeah, I do understand that carrying a blade will help you out in those situations. But it's not something that I'm thinking about on a daily basis, because I don't plan on getting into fights or having to pull out my knife because I need to get into some altercation. That was weird. So I don't know. I'd love to hear more. What else do you guys think should or should not be carried? We should be carrying. Obviously, in your everyday world, going shopping, grocery shopping, all those types of things, you know, a lot of those institutions, they don't have anything. My doctor happens to be in a hospital, and there's a metal detector and there's security, and I have to empty my pockets, and I have to leave all of my blades in the car. It's a hospital. Okay, I can see that. I can see it. I'm okay with it. I'm not going to argue it. It's fine. I'll leave it in the car. How about, theme parks, zoos, a lot of them. I don't know about some of the smaller stuff, but some of the big, I live here in Orlando. So Central Florida area, and of course, everybody thinks of Disney and Universal, and we have all the theme parks here. But yeah, you're not allowed to carry in the theme park because they're checking everything, going through people's bags, going through metal detectors, all those types of things. So carrying is kind of frowned upon in those places. And it's just because, unfortunately, we can't trust people. That's what it boils down to. The 1 or 2 people have ruined it for all of us that we cannot carry. Whether we like it or not, that is the case. And I'm not a firearm person whatsoever. But if you are, that's great. But there have been some people who have ruined it for everybody when it came to firearms more so than knives. But at least firearms has a really big backing, where I don't know if we do in the knife world. If we do, I've not really heard of it. But again, I'm ignorant to a lot of that stuff, so I don't want to get involved with all of the debate, and I have enough to worry about in my daily life with politics and all that kind of stuff. I don't need to get into that. I just like making, and then hopefully you guys buy it. Listen, hey, once I sell a knife, it's up to you as the buyer to figure out your knife rules in your state. I'm not saying I disagree or agree with some of them. I'm just saying it is. I mean, I live in Florida, so it's pretty open. We do have a law. I don't know if anybody's following that law or if anybody's actually policing that law. I don't. If like I stopped a cop on the side of the road and asked him what are the knife laws, he probably wouldn't be able to tell me because they don't care. I don't know. All right, so that's kind of my thought on what things are carrying. So, like I said, I'm in and out. Sorry, guys, I needed to adjust this. It's bothering me. I'm in and out of schools on a daily basis right now. And although they say you should not be carrying a knife, I do. But I try to keep it mundane, small. So these are some of the things that I carry. The first one is the Civivi KIV. I don't know how you would say it, but that thing ends up in my pocket a lot. I feel like if I'm in a school and somebody's like, hey, I need to cut this, and then I can pull this out, that's not going to be scaring anybody. It's not going to be something that, they're like, oh, you carry it. No, I carry a little blade. The little slip joint, really fun. Goes in my pocket. Nobody knows it's there. I could clip it. It does have a pocket clip, but I don't. I just throw it in my pocket. And I try to be pretty discreet about it just because if I don't have a knife on me, I feel a little naked. You guys probably feel the same way, being knife people, if you're watching this. But yeah, this will end up in my pocket a lot. And it's just obscure, small, unobtrusive, and if I do have to take it out to cut something, it's not something that's gonna be like shocking to anybody. The next one is, I really like this one. This is the Black Fox Serge Pachenko bean, another slip joint. Nice little blade, 440C steel. I love Serge Pachenko's designs and his knives. Unfortunately, I probably will never own an actual just Serge Pachenko, so this is as close as I'm gonna get. I love his stuff, so this is a fun little slip joint that it's actually kind of fidgety, and if I ever had to, it's small, I could throw it in my pocket, now nobody knows it's there, even though it does have a clip. It's gonna stick out pretty far because of the clip that it is. It's gonna stick out that far in my pocket, so that screams that I have something. But if I had to pull it out, yes, typical knife shape, but nothing big enough where it's gonna throw some people off. The next one is one that I haven't seen a lot about it, but I love it. This is the Bastion Braza Bro, I think. Small D2 titanium frame lock. It's getting on the little bit bigger side of, and it definitely, if I had to pull that up, somebody would be like, maybe do a little hairy eyebrow, but it's a fun little knife. Again, that nice frame lock, titanium, nice little clip. I like the blade shape on it. It's D2. So that ends up in my pocket a lot. And like these are kind of all on rotation. And the last one is the biggest one out of the bunch. And it's my Ace Nibbler. This thing is so much fun, and I just used it. So let me clean it off a little bit. Aries, leaving things a mess. So this is my little Ace Nibbler. I love this thing. Giant Mouse is killing it as usual. some really good designs. I have my Biblio, and then I have a failed attempt at opening it, the Nibbler. I love it. Green aluminum. It does have the deep carry pocket clip, but you're still it's not really deep carry because you still have that much sticking out of your pocket. But I'll throw it in my pocket, and it's not obtrusive, and it's small enough that I could just pull it out, make a little cut with it, and throw it back in my pocket and nobody would know. So those are kind of the things that I've had on rotation right now. And it feels a little weird because I'm normally carrying a regular sized folder, and then I'm carrying my fixed blade, and at work I can't really carry that on my belt at work. So in my regular day world, when I'm not working, that's what happens. Those things end up in my pocket. I'll go back to a pocket knife, a fixed blade, and I'm good. So those are the things that I'm carrying, and that's kind of what I am talking about today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on places that you should be okay to carry, and some places that what's acceptable in your guys' eyes that's not a good place for you to carry a blade. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know. Updates. So, Rockhopper is back, and the Rockhopper, as seen on Knives Fast, is still available. I did fix the sheath a little bit. There's still a little rattle, but it's much tighter now. A little bit harder to get out. So this thing is still available. Casey at Knives Fast really liked it. It's $165. Please go to my Etsy store. I'll put the link in the description, and the link is also in my bio. But it snaps in a little bit better. The retention is a little bit better. And although there's still a little rattle in there, I've been playing with it, and without ruining it and starting over, I don't know how else to fix it, but I'm okay with just a tiny bit of rattle if that's never gonna come out. So that's kind of a safety thing. I also have the Bud, which I pulled out a little bit ago. This one is also available. 1090 or AEB-L steel. Nice stone wash. Tried to finish on it. Not stone washed. A nice satin kind of bevels. Orange G10 with the red G10 tubes. Kind of a nice look. Smooth handle. 3 fingers. And of course the lanyard as just for your pinky. That's kind of my go-to design. It's 3 fingers that locks you in. You have really good control over the blade, but then the pinky you can grab. So those two are available. They're both around the same price. They're both AEB stainless steel. And they're really good buys. So go check it out, but snatch them up before they're gone. I'm really surprised the Rockhopper, I posted on Instagram that it's back and it's available, and I still haven't gotten any buyers for that. I'm really surprised. I'm surprised KC didn't buy it. KC, it's still available. Check it out. Go buy it. It's yours. You've handled it. Just saying. I'm just saying. All right. Update on the projects that I'm working on currently. The Crow, I still have sitting in that box right there, and it's getting ready to go out. But I want to finish this one up first. This is the Yokto that I have shared, the collaboration project. I got the bevels nice and ground out. I got the flats of the handle and the up here at the top of the blade, the crown kind of smoothed out. And then I started smoothing out the handle and the crown. I have a lot of work to do to get that nice and smoothed out. But this thing is coming out pretty cool, and I can't tell you how comfortable that is. And you can actually, it's a 4 finger. You can actually get your pinky on that little heel of the blade, heel of the handle. It is big enough to get that pinky in there, and then your thumb right there. right on top of the spine and gives you full control over any cutting that you're going to be doing. So far, it's coming out pretty cool. We have some plans for these. Working on removable handle scales and 3D printed ones and all these kind of things. Plus the skeletonized version of it as well. So this is going to be the skeletonized version, so it's not going to look too much different than this. But I have to round everything off, get the handle nice and squared off, get some of that fixed, send it off to get heat treated. So I'm going to send this one and the Crow off at the same time. So these two will be going out. This is going to go to Tim in Germany, and the Crow will be up for sale. I got some plans for that one. But excellent project that I'm working on. And as soon as this one's done and we're happy with where it's at, I'll start on another one, because I still have some steel it'll be exactly like this one, skeletonized to look exactly like it. This thing has great balance right where your finger's gonna be. It's just really good, and that's right where the finger swell is. So right there. I'm following another maker, and he posted something the other day that sometimes you got good days on the grinder and some days you don't. And yesterday was not a good day. So I've been working on these two models. I think I'm gonna go with the mouse. Somebody said, what was it? Somebody mentioned another idea that it was kind of cool. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I'm gonna do a poll probably on my Instagram for the name of this. But for right now, for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna call it the mouse. And the reason is, it was inspired by my blade shape of the Rat and the Rat 2. And it's very similar to that blade shape, just a little bit different. So that's why it's called the mouse. But I didn't have a good day at the grinder. I got it all kind of wonky. This side got really wonky right there. So I'm going to fix that up. I'm going to lean it back, do a full grind on it, which isn't what I wanted to do with these. I wanted there to be a little bit of space up in here. But that's not going to happen. So I'm going to lean it back, do a full grind on them, and get them on their way. They're going to be super thin and slicey. So these will be fun. And I have some really cool plans as far as handle material that I'm going to use on those guys. I'm breaking out that purple again. Sorry. And I'm going to do purple and red. Kind of a cool color combination that I haven't done before that I'm going to try. So that is that. That's what I have. Please let me know your thoughts and feelings on where it's okay to carry and where it's not. And check out my Instagram and my Etsy to snatch up some of these blades that I have available right now. Really good prices, really fair. And they're going to be really utilitarian blades to be used on a daily basis in all the places you're allowed to carry. All right, guys. Well, that's another edition of TNFNU. Please subscribe, like, follow, or not. That choice is yours.